Welcome to week 7 of Silly Goose Tarot. My name's Emma. I'm an artist. I'm making a tarot deck that's Silly Goose themed. Every week I pick 3 cards at random and I draw them and I post things here on YouTube and I talk about life and, spirituality and stuff. So stay tuned. This week I have the Four of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords, which is about like theft and like, sneaky things and deception. So, that's kind of one of the more dramatic tarot cards. Alright, we're kicking off this week with the Four of Pentacles. This card is all about stability, protection, conservation, preservation, safety, and control. This card can also represent holding on to things too tightly, especially in the realm of material possessions. Fine possessions alone will not make anybody happy. I think what a lot of people are chasing when they chase after wealth is that feeling of stability, which I don't blame anybody for. Stability is an important part of feeling safe. But being rich and being stable are two completely different things. You can be one and not the other. My time working in a salon and also being on the internet all the time, I have heard an endless amount of stories of people who are very wealthy, who are not doing well, and who do not have healthy practices. I know there's a lot of talk on the internet about Nepo babies and like people who get handed things like on a silver platter. But through one of my jobs, I met a woman in her 50s who was a trust fund baby and never really had to do anything at all. And she spent a lot of her life being an alcoholic and not leaving her bedroom. And what I learned from her is that life is a lot more about what you do with the time you're given than how much stuff that you've accumulated, In our hyper individualistic consumer society, I feel like we want to be able to do it all by ourselves. And the best way to do that is to be rich and to figure out how to make a lot of money. That way we can be hyper individualistic and we can just pay people and we don't need to rely on a community. We can just have employees to do the things that like a natural community would do for you. I was extremely lucky to be born into like a really big supportive family and then to marry into a big supportive family. So like even though we're a one income household, we don't make like a ton of money, like I still feel pretty stable because I know in an event of an emergency, I'm not going to be homeless. I can go live in my parents' garage, like not ideal, but not bad. And for the record, my father built his garage himself, and it's 2 stories, and it's called the Garage Mahal, and the second floor is like kind of like a little apartment, and it's the man cave. There's a big leather sofa in there, and like a bedroom and a bathroom. So like I'm not exactly roughing it if I moved into the garage, And even outside of family ties, like I've experienced reliable community. I have many friends that are reliable and I feel like would definitely try to help me out in a pinch. And even through work, especially when I worked at the salon I worked at, I met so many wonderful people and it was like really like a little close family. Let me tell you, if you need some connections, befriend a hairstylist because they know everybody. On a slightly sadder note, I feel like there are things to be learned from the people near the end of their life. Even though like times have changed, society has changed, there are a lot of basic universal truths that will continue to persist from generation to generation. There was a book that was written in 2011 titled The Top 5 Regrets of Dying by Bronnie Ware. The 5 most common regrets shared by people nearing their death were: 1. I wish I had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. 2. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. 3. I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. 4. I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. And 5. I wish I had let myself be happier. I let that feeling, those the wishes and regrets of the dying, to resolve me in my quest to live happily as my weird self. I don't think anybody expected me to start posting random drawings of Silly Goose themed tarot cards on the internet, but by God, that's what's in my soul, so I'm gonna do it. Even if nobody ever really cares about the videos I make, or, I don't make any money off of it, I will have this piece of me that will outlive me on the internet, hopefully forever. And to me, that's worth more than any amount of money I could make right now. After all, I can't take it with me. So to me, this card symbolizes focusing more on building healthy roots for yourself. Instead of trying to grow tall and be the biggest tree or the prettiest tree, try to grow those roots to be the most stable tree. Next up, Ace of Pentacles, baby. This card symbolizes health, wealth, new opportunities, receiving, growing, and prosperity. You might say, Emma, isn't this card in total contradiction of the card before it? And I would say that, life is all about balance. You can live a valuable life without earning a penny, and you could be the richest man in the world and still be a drain on society. It's all about perspective. I think true prosperity is in the eye of the beholder. I can't help but think of the sitcom Parks and Recreation. There's a character on the show named Jerry, and he's kind of like the punchline of a lot of jokes. Everyone forgets his name all the time. They call him the wrong name all the time. Near the end of the show, they reveal that Jerry has a beautiful, lovely family. That job is perfect for him because he gets holidays off and he gets out early to get his, that he could get his kids off the bus, and he lived a wonderful, fulfilling, happy life. And the joke's on everybody else. Everyone's version of prosperity is different, and you gotta figure out what your own is. Most importantly, this card is a symbol and a reminder that there are always new opportunities all around us. Every day is a new opportunity to start doing the things you want to do and living the life you want to live. It's a reminder that growth is uncomfortable and sometimes you gotta crack a few eggs, but you'll never know what will hatch. It might be something small at first that needs a lot of nurturing, and that's something you need to take care of, but eventually it might be a full-grown business or, opportunity of some sort that will help you in ways that you can't even imagine. Another analogy I can think of is like when you're sailing at sea and you just turn the steering wheel a little bit, and now you're just a couple degrees, to the west. And if you just keep sailing that way in a straight line, you're going to be miles, hundreds of miles, away from your original destination. And all it takes is just a couple degrees of change to completely change your life. Basically, it's like the butterfly effect in real life. I've heard so many different stories of artists that will, set up at a art show or whatever, and they meet somebody there, and that person doesn't buy anything, but they, you know, have a great time, and they end up talking to this person, and they really like this person a lot. And then, you know, months, maybe even years later, that person reaches out, and then it becomes a really big opportunity, like for an event, or they reach out for like a commission piece, and you have no idea what the future holds. I think it's a good thing to, you know, approach life and opportunities with an open mind and an open heart and open arms. And don't get too disheartened if one opportunity doesn't work out or pan out the way you expect. There's always going to be more in the future. Sometimes perceived failures end up being a very, very important step in the process. In some ways, every bad anime face I've ever drawn has led up to this moment. This project in general has been like kind of like my Ace of Pentacles in a way. It's an opportunity to dedicate myself to a project that I'm very passionate about, and that's really long and fucking annoying at times. But every week I'm excited to start working on the cards again, even if it's tiring sometimes. To me, this project is kind of like, it symbolizes, like, if I can get through this, if I can make this product come to life, I can do anything. All it takes is just small incremental steps over and over again, and do not give up. Last but not least, the Seven of Swords. This card represents dishonesty, sneakiness, assumptions, theft, and tactics. It's a reminder that some things just don't play fair. Honest to God, when I pull one of these cards, I'll check my bank account and just make sure I didn't have any like subscriptions that like went through that I forgot to cancel. You know, just dumb shit like that. Sometimes it's like as benign as like a scam text you get, you know. It's like all misspelled and from like a bank that you don't actually have an account in. The only scam I ever almost fell for was like an email from someone pretending to be an antivirus software that I had used in the past, saying that they're about to renew my subscription for like $500 something. But I think there was like a misspelling in it, and then like at the bottom it's like, if you don't want us to charge you this much money, call this number. And I was like, like, what are the odds that, like, a company would just, like, advertise, like, oh, yeah, if you don't want us to charge you money, you know? I don't think that they would put that in an email. When in doubt, wait it out, you know? Don't take any drastic actions. They want you to be frantic. They want you to be alarmed, you know? And then they prey upon you, those bastards. Scams are like a dime a dozen these days. I feel like they're so prevalent. They're everywhere. They're like every YouTube ad. It's, in some ways, we're all just like desensitized to it. People are selling books and like, you know, courses online, and it's just like the same repackaged information over and over again. How to get rich, buy my book or buy my course and I'll tell you how I did it. I shit you not, there are now like courses that you can buy to sell to other people so they can sell that course. And it's like, oh my God, there's another head on the pyramid scheme Hydra. It never fucking dies. The best thing you can do for yourself is to ignore all the bullshit. It's just noise. It's just a waste of your time. And besides financial scams, this card can also symbolize, like, you know, thefts of time and energy. Whether it's like a person in your life that feels like an emotional vampire, or it's a hobby or job or organization that slowly starts demanding more and more of your time and energy without you getting anything in return. There are a lot of ways that, you know, nice people get taken advantage of every day. And the best protection is awareness. And to have, strong boundaries and to know when to say no to people. But honestly, I think the biggest thing to look out for is self-deception. The biggest battles we have to fight are internal. Remember all those dying people's regrets in the beginning? Yeah, those are all internal struggles that they had to fight. Remember, the sword suit represents ideas and thoughts. Is your mind engaging in thought patterns that are literally stealing away your happiness? It's pretty normal. It is one of the top 5 biggest regrets that people have when they're dying, so you're not alone. I know I did it. Now I refuse to be dishonest with myself. I just want to be happy. And there we have it. We're wrapping up week 7. These are the cards printed out on cardstock, not the final product by any means. Lovely, stunning nonetheless. Thanks for all the nice comments, and to my real life friends who leave comments. I appreciate it very much, and all your support in other ways. If you have any topic recommendations or questions or anything, little comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'm going to go on vacation in 2 weeks for a week with my family. And so I was thinking about making a short little, easy edited video. Maybe like a conversational type video. And it would be a good time to answer any questions or anything if anyone has any. Or don't, and I'll figure something else out. It's no big deal. And I thought it would be nice to end the video with some wisdom from the Garden Flower Oracle deck. The card is the Snapdragon. Listen with care, speak with kindness. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye. You are shedding. I gotta brush you, lady. There, now Spooky's in the video.